Rain. A relentless torrent. Elias, collar pulled high, navigated the labyrinthine alleyway. Cobblestones, slick with rain, glistened under the dim streetlights. Each step echoed, swallowed by the oppressive silence. A chill permeated the air, seeping into Elias's bones. He felt a presence, watching, waiting. Elias quickened his pace. The hair on his neck prickled with a sudden chill. The city felt different tonight, alien. He couldn't shake the feeling that something profound awaited him in the depths of this storm. Each gust of wind seemed to whisper his name, urging him forward. The rain intensified, drumming a chaotic rhythm against the pavement. A wave of dizziness washed over him. He leaned against a damp brick wall, his breath catching in his throat. Closing his eyes, he tried to steady himself, but the world inside his eyelids was far from steady. Flashes of azure light, vibrant and otherworldly, danced before his closed eyes. He saw swirling mists, heard whispers carried on the wind. These whispers spoke of choices, of paths not taken, of a life he vaguely remembered choosing. The ground seemed to shift beneath his feet as if the very fabric of his reality was unraveling. He opened his eyes, heart pounding. The alleyway swam before him, the azure lights bleeding into the real world. Faces, ethereal and translucent, materialized in the rain. They reached for him, their expressions a mixture of sadness and longing. Their voices, soft like dying embers, echoed in his mind. "Remember," they whispered, their forms flickering in the downpour. "Remember who you are. Remember what you chose." A name, whispered on the wind, sent shivers down his spine. It was his name, but spoken with an inflection that implied a destiny far grander than he could ever have imagined. Suddenly the rain stopped. He looked up. Above him a swirling vortex of azure light had opened in the sky. It pulsed, beckoning him closer. He felt an irresistible pull, drawing him towards the impossible light. An unseen force lifted him, carrying him upwards towards the heart of the swirling vortex. As he ascended, the city fell away, replaced by a boundless expanse of white. He found himself standing on a platform of shimmering crystal, bathed in warm, comforting light. Before him stretched a vast hall, its ceiling lost in an ethereal mist. This was the place of causation, the place where souls chose their fates before they were born. He was not alone. Thousands of souls, shimmering points of light, moved through the hall. They clustered around massive, crystalline spheres, each one a window into a different life, a different destiny. He saw himself, a young boy standing at the precipice of countless choices, each decision shaping the life he would lead. As he watched, the gravity of those choices pressed down on him. The weight of every decision, every consequence, settled heavily on his soul. He had chosen this life, this path fraught with its joys and sorrows. But why? What had possessed him to choose this specific existence? He heard a voice, clear as a bell, resonating within his very being. Every choice is made for a reason, Elias. Every path serves a purpose. He turned and saw a figure standing before him, cloaked in shimmering light. The figure's features were obscured, but Elias felt an overwhelming sense of peace and wisdom emanating from it. "Why am I here?" Elias asked, his voice trembling. "Why am I remembering now?" The figure smiled gently. "You are here because you have strayed from the path. You are remembering because you need to find your way back to your purpose." The crystal platform began to dissolve beneath his feet. He was falling, plummeting back towards the rain-soaked alleyway. He landed hard on the cold cobblestones, the wind knocked out of him. The azure light had vanished, leaving him alone once more in the darkness. He stood, his clothes soaked, his body aching. He looked up at the now clear night sky, a million stars twinkling back at him. The place of causation, the ethereal figures, the weight of his choices. Had it all been a dream? Or was he now awake for the first time, truly aware of the threads of fate that had woven his existence? He didn't have the answer, but he knew one thing: he had a choice to make. Would he continue down the path he had strayed from, or would he forge a new one, guided by the echoes of his pre-birth purpose? The crossroads were before him, shrouded in mist and uncertainty, and he was alone.